It's never too late to get the flu shot. We know too this year is the B strain is very severe, and that's the strain that hits kids very hard, kids and young adults. So I think that's why we're seeing school closures in Maine as well as school closures around the country, actually. We know that also that the vaccine this year isn't the best match for the B strain. However, it's still very important to get vaccinated. We know that people who are vaccinated, even if they get the strain that is not as good a match with the vaccine, they still are protected in that they usually get a less severe case of influenza if they're vaccinated. So it's always best to get vaccinated. One way to calm the flu is to close a school for a day or two or three. And of course, this being Monday, they've had a couple of days. So if you close the school for 3 days, that often is a way to calm influenza down. K through 12 schools tend to be kind of a petri dish in that you've got kids, 20 or so kids in a classroom all day long. They're sharing germs, and then they spread out across the community, and they're visiting their grandparents and aunts and uncles and people who are older, and they're spreading influenza. So we know that a good way to calm influenza across a community as well as the school itself is to close the schools for 2 or 3 days. This isn't done every year. It's usually not done, but every several years we get a bad flu season, particularly with a flu strain that hits kids hard. Then this is done, and it works pretty well to kind of calm everything down. And of course, the old adage, the old practices of washing one's hands frequently, not touching one's face with unwashed hands. That's very important because the way influenza as well as coronavirus are transmitted is usually from having it on your hands and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, and that's how it enters your body most commonly. So washing your hands frequently, not touching your face with unwashed hands, staying home if you're sick, and then sneezing and coughing into a sleeve or a tissue and throwing the tissue away.